Good day. It's Monday, February 17th, and that means two things. That kilometer-wide asteroid missed us over the weekend, and it's time for the Light Read Nailed's very own news, audio, video show that goes along with our text newsletter. You can get that in your inbox every morning and not have to listen to me. Or read along, your choice. This show is brought to you by Keystone Technologies, talking about their direct drive LED. This particular one is designed to replace 13-watt GX23s bipins. You know, those little bipins. This is an interesting application, but glad to have an LED option for it now, because it's twice as efficient and lasts 50,000 hours. That's KeystoneTech.com, or the link in the description if you please. In the meantime, let's get into the news. Starting off, Get a Grip on Lighting. Our boys Michael and Greg were at Strategies in Light and did 14 live interviews in 2 days. That's crazy. That's way more than I want to do. It's a great playlist, is now up and running. You can watch it, you can catch up, do it at your leisure. In the meantime, real stuff. Okay, we've got COVID-19 updates. Update 1. We're calling coronavirus COVID-19 now. The WHO is getting worse at naming viruses, I think. We need better names for these. So as regional governments are continuing quarantine protocols, Satco and Cooper have issued statements reassuring their customers that their supplies are stable right now, but there might be some delays coming up soon, and just try to work around it. In the meantime, a survey of 6,600 Chinese LED manufacturers anticipates about half their job force will be back up and running by the 17th. We'll see. Keeping an eye on this one. The Navigant Research has published a study guessing that electrical efficiency spending is going to go up by $60 billion by 2028. Yeah, so right now, so that's utility incentives, government incentives, other programs. This is going to double in spending over the next 8 years. Clarifying some rumors about Light and Building. This is a conference in Frankfurt in March. It's still happening, March 8th. Only 20 out of 2,700 exhibitors have canceled at the last minute. And Chinese suppliers are not so integral to this show because it's mostly Europe to Europe, business to business vendor stuff. So whatever else you've heard about Light and Building might be wrong. The EU is in a bit of a deadlock over fluorescent lamps. We've got 5 member nations making the case that they shouldn't be exempted from a ban on mercury products now that there's LEDs, and 4, think we should keep doing it. Either way, whatever happens, those tubes are going to end up somewhere else. The tube makers of Hungary are going to find somewhere to sell them. The DOE is investing $74 million in efficiency innovators. Speaking of government's funding for electrical efficiency, these are 63 products to save us energy, a bunch of them in lighting. How to implement human-centric lighting according to the guy that discovered it. Professor Russell did a quick little interview with Lux Magazine on the best ways to create dynamic lighting for human well-being. And the Talk Consortium would like you to know that you should double-check your labels, because there are people running around saying that their outdoor light systems, their smart lights, are Talk compatible when they aren't. That's dodgy. Now, Get a Grip on Lighting is back up again because they're not content to do 14 live streams in 2 days. No, they still got to get the Monday episode out. So episode 122, talking to Brian Brandis, the Senior VP of Product Development at Satco. It's a great little chat about, fashion, market research, projects, long-term legacy, poetry. It's a good one. Wayne J. Griffin has released their tallies of their charity efforts over the winter. So 5 divisions in this company, and between them, they came up with 250 coats, 250 toys, and dozens of pounds of canned goods for local charities last December. Lighting controls market is set to grow by 12% by 2026. This is from Acumen Research. Lighting controls, we're going to need more of them in North America and the Asia-Pacific regions. Osram is, AMS is trying to accelerate the merger with Osram. So the sensor maker is trying to convince the shareholders to allow them to take more direct control of the company faster, even though they don't own enough shares to just do that outright, and have in fact had to sell some of their shares to cover the debt that they took on to buy all of those shares. And from there, it just evolves into German financial law, and I don't get that. Local officials are pushing the LEDification of the state of New Jersey. We've got a bunch of utility execs and city politicians at a hearing at Thomas Edison University last week, calling for the state legislature to mandate more efficient lights in public buildings. Speaking of lights in public buildings, Toledo area radio enthusiasts are complaining that LED street lamps are causing electromagnetic interference in their preferred spectrum. Now, the spirit of radio crackles with life, but not with LED light bulbs, according to the Toledo utility and the GE manufacturer. So it might just be something all in your head. The LA Times has done a nice little write-up on how Las Vegas is pivoting to LED, a town that's known for neon, shaking things up. Honolulu is set to update their building code. This is City Council Bill 25 is going to mandate efficient lighting among a bunch of other things. The Zoning and Planning Committee is going to debate it on the 27th. Peoria is in the process of upgrading to LED alternatives for outdoor and street lamps. And they're starting with a big old citywide audit to make sure they don't run into that problem Guelph did a few weeks ago. Make sure everything gets wired right the first time. Optilum claims patent infringement from Cree. So this suit alleges a violation of intellectual property related to filament-style light bulbs. Cupertino is planning a dark sky policy. This is a Bay Area town holding a series of meetings to set outdoor lighting policy as part of an initiative to be bird-friendly. Sylvania has pivoted to human-centric lighting. They showed off their new Natural series at a really crazy press event. It was like half fashion show. We had celebrities telling stories. It was a thing to see if you saw it. Yeah, I guess the video's around somewhere. Take a look. LSI has reported lower sales and higher earnings per share. So their quarterly earnings report showed some strength on the graphic side and reduced margins in lighting. Seoul Semiconductor also reports their Q4 revenue. They're down 5%, and they're expecting another 2% the next quarter. Signify has added Salex as their rep agency for Southern Ontario and the GTA. The University of Arizona is going to study vertical farming for leafy greens. We know how microgreens work. We know how herbs work. We know how a certain other leafy product deals with vertical farming, but the Department of Agriculture is going to fund a university study into viability and best practices for lettuce and other leaves. Lumistream has filed for bankruptcy. This Florida smart LED provider has filed for Chapter 11 this year. Town of Kelowna, they're also upgrading their streetlights. This is going to be a 4-year project for 3,000 lamps that costs $1 million over in BC. Here's a fun little how-to. Turn your entire ceiling into one light fixture. It's a YouTube channel, kind of a goofy project. It's about putting clear lenses in a T-ceiling and then running just LED tape all over the ceiling to get one big light. QSSI has joined the NLB. This is a Florida firm. They're the newest member of the National Lighting Bureau. The livestock grow market is expected to grow by 6.8% in 2025. Grandview Research is seeing expansion in cattle farms around the world, expanding the need for LED livestock lighting. Another fun little do-it-yourself project, a Eureka bulb. Classic over your head. You just need a little microprocessor, an accelerometer, and a battery, and you can have fun little toy to hold over your head when you have a great idea. Amerlux has a new website. It's pretty nifty. It's got a great product search, better resource pages, design galleries, and a section for their webinars. Apple has patented a self-configuring smart home. This IoT platform would detect what smart items are on the network and where they are, and connect them in a way that's easy, as opposed to you having to individually, set up each light bulb and name it and tell your smart home where it is. The Sapphire Award winners have been announced. These are from LEDs magazine. These were given away at Strategies in Light. Congrats to all the winners. The National Science Foundation wants you to count stars. Every year, they ask the public to help the Optical Infrared Astronomy Research Lab track how many stars we're losing to sky glow and where. It's a handy little website. You just walk outside, log in with the date, time, and your location, and it'll ask you to count which stars you can see. It'll give you a little chart, and you can check off which ones you can. Retail is finally getting into IoT. This is a research paper from Retail Systems Research, and they're reporting on how IoT adoption is spreading through retail spaces. UV lamps might be protecting our fruit from mildew and mites pretty soon. This is a Cornell Agritech research project that is using UV lights as a pest and fungus killer. So far, they've got it figured out for grapes and strawberries. G&G Industrial partners with RepFiles. RepFiles is a handy app provided by NAED and NEMRA. Now you can find their products on that app. Nice and searchable. Part 2 of Susan Bloom's interview with the LA streetlight director. You might remember that LA is holding a contest to redesign their streetlights. And this part of the conversation delves into smart cities. Illinois schools have been granted $4.5 million in renovation funds. These are 6 schools in Oak Park. Lighting upgrades, other maintenance all around the board. Pre-lighting post-transcript of earnings call. Their revenues are down 14% this year. And Harvard Medical has announced that they've found a photosensitive protein that reduces glucose. So we're talking about light therapy for weight loss and diabetes management. In the meantime, did you know that January is the most popular month to quit your job? Which means February is the most popular month to announce you've promoted or hired someone. Here's a list of who's moving around the industry. Mark McClear is the COO of BIOS. Daniel Katz is the LED product manager at ICO. Keystone has added Mark Fogg as the OEM account manager. Don Runyon is now at Halco as VP of Sales and Marketing. Fluence has named Dr. Abe Tosar, sorry if I've mispronounced that, Doc, as Director of Horticultural Service. The Zigbee Alliance has named John E. Osborne II as chairperson. Sloan LED has rehired their former president Steve Shotwell as COO. Rich Matthews has been appointed Regional Sales VP for the Central Region in CNI Lighting at ATG. Illumis has named Ken Hawley as VP of National Accounts, Dave Weinberg as VP of Sales, and Jason Hendren as Executive Advisor. Lastly, Jeff Davis has been named President of LSI. And that's it for this Monday for the Light Read. I've been Scott Wachter. This show's been sponsored by Keystone Direct Drive LEDs, KeystoneTech.com, or link in the description. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for rating. And we'll catch you next time.